Hello and welcome to the Dream Arena at DreamHack 2011. We've got a real treat for you guys. Stunlock Studios are in the house. But first, well, what an epic game we've got here. It's the grand finals and we have $6,000 on the line. The American team of Oars are here, going up against the Swedes who've come out of nowhere, Transportation. And well, before we bring the players who are pumping to go out onto the stage, we're going to hand you over to our experts in the commentary booth.
Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to this Bloodline Champions tournament. DreamHack Summer 2011, make some noise! My name is Semmler, and with me here today is Kast. We're going to bring you a sick game between Team Oars and Pubic Transportation. Team Oars from the US, we got a sick grudge match today going against the EU team, Pubic Transportation, Hybrid, Dandido, and Viktory. These guys have come in through the BYOC tournament here at DreamHack. They have fought tooth and nail to get this far, and boy have they performed. It has been absolutely amazing. So guys, you got to make some more noise because this is going to be so insane. I don't know what to do with myself.
Just raise your hands and clap them high.
They've been training hard. They're from the USA. Should we bring them out onto the stage? It is none other than Team Oars. They qualified through the BYOC. They made their way up through the lower bracket, taking out Dignitas and SK Gaming. It's the Swedes from Transportation! First up, we've got Iverson. Moving on, it's none other than Hafu. And finally, it is MegaZero. And now, playing here for Transportation, we do have Viktory. Dandido, does he have the reactions? We will be finding out shortly. And finally, Hybrid. So we're going to be grabbing Viktory and Hafu for a short pre-match interview. Let's bring them over. So, firstly, Hafu. Some people out there might recognize you from your time as a professional WoW player. Do you think, you've been to plenty of tournaments like this before, do you think your experience is going to help out the team?
I'm certainly more confident at LAN, So, like, my first LAN was awful. I was so nervous and we played horribly. But now, yeah, this is like my 10th, or I don't know, a lot. And I think we're all playing really well, though. This is their first, and they're both playing perfectly. So.
Now, Bloodline Champions is a game that's been growing and growing in the esports scene. How has the transition from a professional WoW player to a BLC player been?
It's kind of the same kind of concept. Like, you have to be really aware of the opponents and your teammates, and always keeping track of cooldowns. But it's much harder, I think, because you have to aim, which is another dimension of the game.
Viktory, you guys came from nowhere. Well, you were known on the scene, I presume. Yeah. However, you made your way up through the BYOC, and you got knocked out by Oars, went down to a lower bracket. Were those games intense?
Yeah, very intense. I was pretty surprised we even beat some teams. But yeah, very proud of that we were here.
What do you think it's going to take to defeat Oars here today? There's $6,000 on the line. You guys are going to have to win 2 BO5s to make it.
Tunnel healer, very hard, yep.
Okay. Well, I think we've said all that needs to be said. Let the game begin.
All right, guys. Well, apparently it's going to be starting here. We aren't allowed to start the match until 5, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to get you involved a bit in BLC and give you a quick rundown of what it is, because, of course, we got the crowd going nuts right now. But Hafu, we're going to pick up on what Hafu said. It has a lot to do with WoW Arena. It's a bit like you have the map awareness and ability awareness that you need to pick up from WoW that carries over with the reaction skills and the aiming from Counter-Strike, for example, or Quake. I know you guys are pretty familiar with that. We are in the EU after all, and this is the birthplace of those esports scenes. So, Kast, you know, we have these kinds of mixes, you know, coming together into this amazing game called Bloodline Champions. You know, how do you think it carries over as an esport? You know, how do you think it's doing right now?
Well, I mean, the player base is very low. Yes, that's definitely certain. But you know what? With DreamHack here, DreamHack actually picking this tournament up, $10,000 prize pool, it definitely has a future. You know, for it just being a game released 6 months ago, it has gone a long way. The game has transitioned from something, you know, as a little infant. It's been growing, growing, growing. With DreamHack here, it's starting to get, you know, a little bit bigger. And over time, the developers are working very hard, putting in new features, in-game tournament. You have replays now. They're going to be changing up the GUI, more tutorials, making it easier, and really making this MOBA, I guess we can call it in the MOBA genre.
We can call it MOBA, yeah.
Yeah, this MOBA game, one of the best.
Absolutely, you know, and this is, you have to pay attention to this game, because 6 months ago, this game was completely different. In another 6 months, who knows how big it's going to be. All of these new implementations are going to be happening, and the game is going to be completely new. So, you know, we got massive monsters of teams already emerging in the scene. Team Oars, I mean, these guys are the U.S. powerhouse. Basically, the top 3 players coming from the U.S. scene, flying over here to represent North America in this EU tournament. I mean, DreamHack, come on, this is like the stomping ground for all the CS, Quake, and all the big EU esports scenes. DreamHack is where it's at. And look, you know, these guys invading. What is this?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look at them. You know, right now, Hafu, like she said, she has some confidence with the LAN. I'm sure she spread a little bit of, you know, that knowledge with her teammates. MegaZero coming from League of Legends. He definitely has a lot of competitive experience under his belt. You know, first time out of LAN, though, it does change up the dynamic a teeny bit, but they look a bit relaxed. You know, they are confident in their play. They did come from the winner's bracket all the way here, so they are, you know, up 1 set in this double elimination tournament. We'll explain more of that a little bit later. And you know what, though? Got to give it to Pubic Transportation, BYOC. Those guys are known definitely in the BLC scene. You know, they are very, you know, top contenders in the ladder.
Absolutely.
In the game, and they have shown their mettle. You know, beating SK, beating Dignitas, like knocking out all these top teams that are sponsored. You know, I don't know who will pick them up next, because, you know, DreamHack winner, who knows?
DreamHack winner, you know, that is the prize egg, and definitely the sponsors are keeping their eyes on this. You know, I know that, you know, there's still, like, we have Team EG, I know, the Complexity, you know, these are big teams. They still haven't picked up a sponsored team in Bloodline Champions, you know? So there are still sponsorships to be had. This is still a growing scene, and I like that you talk about, you know, Viktory Hybrid and Dandido. You know, these guys have been in the EU scene and really tearing up the ladder. I believe, you know, they're in at least in the top 5 on the EU ladder right now. And the EU ladder, you know, I know you guys are familiar with the WoW scene. It's the BG9 of BLC. You know, you got the North American ladder, and it's all fun and games over there.
Yeah.
But the EU is where it's at. That's where the top contenders are. And to be honest, you know, it's going to be such an amazing game today.
Yeah,
all of the EU scene and all of the US scene, because I know we've got US people watching this stream. Shout outs to all you guys for tuning in.
Exactly. I mean, it's always been this kind of a little bit of a conflict, US versus EU.
A little one?
A little one, yeah. It's a little bit more than a little. I mean, there's tons of forum posts. The community is really into this game. That's how you know it is a really good and uprising esport. Because it's like US is better, EU is better. It's like, look, we got Oars over there, and it's like it's defeating all you EU teams. And now that there's this latency issue, but coming here to DreamHack, we ran on the LAN servers. We have one US team, one EU team, repping both continents. And guess what? Everything is going to be decided today.
Dude, today on same ping.
Yes.
There's none of that shenanigans. Oh, we had 90 MS more than you. That's why we lost. Of course, at the top level, where every single mistake counts, matters, and it's going to be punished. Yes, that ping disadvantage is a big one. But here we are, 0, 1, 2 MS. That's out the window. Now it comes down to team coordination, team hype, and knowing the strategies that you need to employ to carry your team to victory. So to be honest, I think we should be pretty close to getting started here. Do you have any last words to add before moving on, Kast?
Well, I just want to say that these guys have what it takes. They have practice, and the reason that they are here is because they are the best of the best, and I can't expect anything less.
Dude, seriously. Guys, make some noise. This is going to be absolutely insane. Top of the world teams here at DreamHack Summer 2011. Oh, yeah. And I'm loving this, man. For a game, that doesn't have that huge a player base, and it is brand new. I mean, 6 months out, and we've already got a tournament happening at DreamHack. How sick is that? We've already got a pretty full house here. They're going to start moving in, I think, a little bit, of course, as we get closer to the StarCraft 2 finals. But, hey, love it all that you guys are showing up to support this game. Love it all that the guys watching the stream right now, got to give shout-outs to you. You are throwing in as well. Without you guys, none of this would be happening. So, got to give big shout-outs to you and much respect for tuning in and supporting esports today.
Yeah. Well, with that, are we going to get into the match, or do we want to intro the players a teeny bit more?
I don't know. We're going to give the thumb up, thumb down, see if we can start moving ahead a little bit, as I would like to get this going. You know what? We should actually go through the matches and give a quick rundown of what is actually going to be happening today. It's going to be 2 best-of-5s. Now, 1 best-of-5 for USA, Team USA, I guess is what we'll call them, Team Oars, Iverson, Hafu, and MegaZero. These guys came through the winner's bracket. It was a double elim setup. So these guys undefeated and actually just tearing teams apart. So they are definitely top contenders for the title. They are going to need 1 set to win, whereas, Pubic Transportation, Public Transportation, Viktory, Dandido, and Hybrid, they have to take 2 sets to win because they were knocked down into the loser's bracket. They worked their way up. They fought their way up to get here to the grand finals, but they will have to take 2 sets to reset the series and go on to take the championship. So it's going to be, down to the wire. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what our maps are. We're going to be starting off with Temple of Shulks. Moving on in the second match, Well of Surgen. Citadel is going to follow that, followed by Wojo, and then to top it all off, Shrine. Now, all of these maps are fairly balanced for these comps. There's no real comp imbalances that are going to be able to play here. These are close quarter maps as well as very open maps. So you're going to have different strategies. We're going to try and point them out to you when it's happening. But guys, get hyped because we are so close to starting this up. I see our Swedish commentators joining us on the other side finally, and we're probably going to be passing it over to them for them to give an introduction.
Yeah. Well, you want me to talk about Shelt and Scriff over there?
Yeah, to be honest, you're more familiar with the SLSC than I am, to be honest.
Well, I have been talking with some of the developers over there, and they will be commentating in Swedish for us, so you got to rep the Stunlock Studios crew. I mean, there's only 15 of them. We got Shelt over on the left side, if you take a look up there, and we got Scriff over on the right, I do believe. And those guys, Scriff being a player from Team Dignitas definitely knows what he's talking about. Shelt being a developer, so he is going to be intimate with the game because, well, he works on it.
Scriff is a force of nature.
Yeah.
He is a manly man. Not only that, he plays a character that used to be called Manguard. Had an ability called Manguard. How badass does it get? I mean, so sick. Scriff, he did get knocked out by, Public Transportation, but what a match it was. They did not roll over. They did not give it up, as it was one of the most brutal, bloody matches we've had to stream, all throughout this weekend. So, mad shout-outs to Scriff, actually, for, stepping up and being willing to commentate on national television, I believe that is going.
Yeah, I believe so. And, I mean, from what I hear, he really doesn't have any kind of commentary experience, but, he's a confident guy, very nice to talk to, and one of the best players out there. So, expect if you're tuning in and are going to watch the television broadcast over there, that he is going to give some helpful insights into this game that you might not even know about. But,
and guys,
That's all about
It's
BSU.
time to go.
It's time to go.
rock. We're going to get
That's
into
it.
this match. Finally, enough dilly-dally. And get it up, get it hyped, get started.
All right, here we go. Iverson, Hafu, MegaZero, Team USA on the warm team. We got
USA.
Viktory, Dandido, and Hybrid on the cold side. The Swedes, US versus EU. Just waiting for these players to ready up. And Shrine of Aranshan, let's, it's not the map that we're going to be playing right now. I'm going to talk about Temple of Shelo, the first map that we want to get onto. And that map is going to be a closed quarter map, sort of medium to close. It has pillars in the middle, and it is going to be very, very difficult here for Viktory, who plays the Harbinger, to get a lot of those shadow bolts off, but he can throw plagues around the side. And you know what? It's going to be very interesting to see how they play this. Hybrid as well, playing on the Engineer. I don't know if he will change it up to anything else. He has just been playing Engineer this whole tournament. And I
do believe you have the settings. Yes, you do. You have the settings.
I have
I'll
the
go ahead and
settings.
pick this up
Oh,
for you.
yes, of
now,
course. I
we have been going
apologize.
over the comps for you guys, but Iverson, Hafu, and MegaZero are actually pretty famous now for running a double healer setup. Now, double healer, whoa. What is this? This is actually going to be a rushdown comp. I know that sounds kind of, crazy. Double healer is usually about grinding people out. But what is going on here? Never on. We got shouting going on in the crowd. I have no idea what's going on. But Iverson, Hafu, and MegaZero, they do run a rushdown style double healer. It's really interesting to watch. A lot of excitement comes from it. But on the other side, Cold Trunks, Viktory, Dandido, and Hybrid, they actually run a very burst-orientated composition. S-trap, and there we go. Kast gets it.
Finally.
I see Rex is trapping.
Hey.
Yeah, we got all the pros here in the front rows with their signs. I hope you guys are going to be able to see that on the stream. We're going to get some pictures of that. Because those signs, man, they're so epic.
They are epic, and I apologize because I am used to, Programmer Arn, Vikarn, and Rexus for adminning the tournament. So even though we are just the commentators, you do have to give shout-outs for all the admins that did run this tournament. So everybody clap your hands for the admins, and clap your hands because we are going to get this match underway.
Isn't it nice not having load times? Everybody's on the same ping. Loads up like a snap of the finger.
Yeah,
Oh, man,
fantastic.
I could get used to this. This is kind of dangerous.
Dude, I can get used to these headsets. Pretty nice.
Very
But
nice, too.
I'm
You
sure,
wanna finish off?
I will start this one off, and thank you for the honors, but, I'm feeling a little bit nervous right now. I wonder what they're feeling like in the player's seat, as this is for major money. These are the grand finals here for the DreamHack Bloodline Champions tournament, and who will draw first blood? Nope, gonna miss that mace, gonna miss the sleep. Here it is. Everybody's just sort of playing passive. Uh-oh, here we go. Iverson gonna go in deep. He's gonna get punished there right now. He's gonna take a lot of shadow bolt damage to the back. Minor retreat, both these teams being a little bit hesitant as the pressure is on the line. Iverson, just saying, nay, I shall go in. Do a little bit of damage, but still another retreat. Viktory gonna be stunned. Deadly injection gonna reduce his damage by 50%. Nether shift, he can be very vulnerable at this point. Will Iverson try and collapse on him? Hafu, there she goes with the space in. Gonna do a little bit of damage, and oh man, he is gonna have the dark ward. We got the machine gun coming out from Hybrid. Viktory in the meantime just gonna be controlled while he does have his ultimate on. And now is the time for Ors to do a lot of damage. There it is, Dandido about to go down, but a Nether shift, good support by the Harbinger over there, using his abilities to help allies. And oh no, MegaZero very low on health himself. No barrier. Machine gun coming out. Hybrid gonna reflect half of those bullets back into himself as Iverson is looking for the kill himself. Dandido gonna get punted out, and it looks like the pressure is gonna ensue. But no, Hafu is not gonna be able to kill him in time. Not enough control, and there it is. One round for Public Transportation, starting things off. So the EU scene definitely showing their mettle, definitely looking very strong right here, Semmler.
Yeah, and these guys, it doesn't look like it's getting to them at all. I see them laughing, and this is sick to watch as the EU scene does take the first round. And to be honest, they handled that beautifully. You had Iverson definitely trying to get in on Dandido and go for the kill. That has been their strategy throughout this tournament. Rush down the healer, get him dead, and then mop up the rest. But Dandido, such a boss alchemist, so good at controlling Iverson and controlling that pressure. In the meantime, Hybrid and MegaZero going for the kill. So we're going to have to see, can they change their strategy and adapt? Because just tunneling is not always going to work. You got to be a bit more flexible than that, ladies and gents. And already Hybrid is taking a significant damage. Hafu is getting in there. Iverson is out on the fight as well. We have Enlarged coming out on Hybrid. He's going to be taking 50% reduced damage, and he manages to relocate. What a boss Kong shot to stop Iverson's rush. And this is so close. Hybrid is desperately trying to dodge here and get some heals from his healer. Gets another rocket jump, but oh my god, overkill comes out. Iverson stomps him into the ground, and we have a goo on top of everything else. Dandido is just in a world of pain, and Viktory is going to be all alone soon enough. What with MegaZero sitting back here on top of Dandido. Oh, nice knockback there with the clarity, but it's only delaying the inevitable as finally Iverson's maces put an end to his life, and Viktory goes down as well. 1-1 US-EU. Get hype, people. This is so sick.
Get hype. You know, I am feeling that this is going to be happening a lot. You know, they're going to be trading rounds. Sometimes it's going to come down to a 2v2, even 1v1 situations. Fog might be a factor in these games as well as we keep watching more and more maps. You know, the first mistake by any team, Hybrid took early damage that last round. You make one mistake positioning-wise, and you are going to be toast at this high level as Iverson, already great in cap, but Dandido getting the sleep, making sure that Hybrid didn't take excessive amounts of damage from Iverson at that point. We're going to be seeing a lot of melee action going on over here. Viktory already having the debuff, and it looks like he is going to be the target of choice at this point, but Shrink to get rid of that deadly injection. He does have his ultimate. Now Dandido going to be pressured a little bit. And Hafu, what is she doing? She's going to be just space on over, getting a little bit different of a positioning. And Hybrid trying to get that ultimate out pretty soon. MegaZero stuck in the goo. Dandido going to be putting on the pressure. Viktory following suit as well. Counter goo comes out, and it looks like we got the stomp. Hafu coming in as well with mega pressure. And that is the rush down we see from the American team right there. But MegaZero's not out of the water yet. Viktory is right there. Hybrid does still have a significant amount of health. This one actually could be quite close, but Iverson is going to seal the deal as well as MegaZero with that deadly injection. Another round for the American team.
And what a round. MegaZero barely hanging on by the tip of his nails. I mean, skin of his teeth, barely got through that. You saw a machine gun going off from Hybrid, and he was point blank on that, not missing a round. But in the meantime, that is the beauty of this counter pressure comp. If they see one of their guys getting pressured, they know somebody else is vulnerable. Boom, there goes the swap, and we saw the kill. Dandido going down, and Iverson's going to start, by taking control of the middle. That rune that pops up in the middle, you see that little star? That is 30 energy. 30 energy gets you that much closer to your ultimate that takes 100. So you want that. That is a huge advantage to have. It puts the favorite completely on the side of your team, and MegaZero goes ahead and snags that very nicely. We have a bit of a zoning game going off in the middle right now. Abilities being traded, trying to build meter. It's a bit like footsies in Street Fighter if you're familiar with that game. But Iverson getting outplayed actually by Hybrid. Hybrid knowing that spin is coming, he's getting that flamethrower out, and he's going to be roasting toasting Iverson pretty nicely here. Oh, there we go. Iverson's committed. He's getting in on Viktory. Viktory gets the shrink and relocates immediately to a MegaZero, but that was some very nice coordination there between Viktory and Hybrid for some good coordinated burst on a MegaZero. MegaZero just barely gets around the corner. That machine gun going completely to waste, and this is pretty sick right now as Iverson is going to town on Hybrid. Cold team needs to tighten it up their game because they are slowly getting ground out by this double healer team. MegaZero is doing an excellent job of controlling Viktory once again with the sleep, and it looks to me like first map advantage is going to be going to Team Oars, warm team here. What is going on? They are just absolutely manhandling public transportation right now.
Right now, I was seeing excellent control onto Dandido. They would do the crude strike, then they would throw the hammer, then a stone, maybe a sleep from MegaZero, and holy smokes. At this point, if you control the healer, you will not be able to get those heals out, get the barrier, deadly injection, all that kind of stuff. I am going to be changing the map right now to Well of Saragon. That is the next one on our list. I think we are ready to get this one underway. These teams are probably eager.
Now let's talk a little bit about the map because Well of Saragon, that is a very nice and open map. You have a couple pillars and you have a couple nooks and crannies you can use to line of sight your enemies and avoid those damaging abilities. How do you think that's going to play with these two teams that we have here on the field?
Well, really, it's going to, really depend on how Dandido and MegaZero use those little crevices in the pillars because, if you go duck out to the side, if you use that wall, then you will be able to, stop yourself from getting hit by a lot of projectiles. You'll be able to heal your teammates, and it's going to be, sidestepping left and right. Or, you know what? This also, you can be pushed back into your spawn area quite easily, and if you're back against a wall, you have nowhere to run, nowhere to dodge, and that could become a very big factor later on in this match.
Absolutely agree with you, buddy. And here we go. We're going to have Iverson going to go ahead and initiate here. Good. I like this. They're taking a slow and steady pace, working their way up the map, getting that much closer to controlling middle and controlling that energy room. Like I mentioned, that energy room is crucial to the beginning of the game, and I like this very much. MegaZero are going to go ahead and walk up and pick that up. Lands a nice deadly injection on a Viktory. Viktory is going to be forced to nether shift and predicted by MegaZero. Clarity's that off. Viktory is in a world of hurt right now. He has to space away, and Dandido is desperately trying to get heals on him as if they lose that Harbinger, this round is going to go quickly in favor of Team Oars. MegaZero on top, and this is just brutality at its worst. Hybrid is getting absolutely destroyed. He's caught in the corner between Hafu and Iverson, and that is really not where you want to be. Hybrid forced to enlarge, use that 40 energy. Of course, we have Viktory. He does have God mode out. You see those hordes. It just wore off, but that was a good opportunity to do some damage. That was passed up. He was knocked out, and he had to reposition himself. So Iverson, Hafu, and MegaZero just unrelenting with their pressure. MegaZero even throwing in an instant injection, and Public Transportation right now are just getting absolutely destroyed. They have not found a way to handle the pressure coming out of this Worm team right now. Double healer with a Ravener is truly just unrelenting damage.
Dude, it is unrelenting damage. Iverson does have a lot of control factors on his side. He's got Crude Strike to get somebody out of position. He's got the Thunder Hammer to incapacitate, stop any kind of channeled abilities that the Engineer might have. You know, Machine Gun, Tractor Beam, as well as, you know, stopping Viktory whenever he tries to do a Shadow Bolt. And also, I mean, MegaZero, you have the sleeps, which can set up for other CC effects. You've got Deadly Injection, you know, reduces some damage barrier in case somebody actually takes a lot of heat. And look at this, Viktory has the barrier, has the Nether Shift. Is it going to be put to good use? It looks like Team Aura is going to control themselves and not try and do a whole lot while that is up. Iverson going to try and get on a Hybrid at this point because he knows that space is down, and he is just getting him down to about 50% HP. MegaZero, though, stuck in a rock and a hard place. Viktory and Hybrid going to be unleashing their ultimates and Chaos Incarnate here as I'm getting tongue twisted. But Hybrid, is he going to get out of the goo? Yes, he is, just barely. Is Dandido going to give him a heal? In cap from Iverson, and oh my goodness, is he going to survive? Yes, the barrier comes out at the last second, and he is just going to space on out of there. Get onto MegaZero, try and do a little bit more damage. This could be the counter kill. Hafu, one hit from killing Hybrid, and no, that is not going to happen. You know, in the meantime, Dandido does get taken out, and it looks like MegaZero, Iverson, and Hafu are going to take another round as Viktory just gets, you know, whittled down here as the Harbinger. You know, even though he has another shift, even though they have barrier, it looks like the switching from MegaZero, Iverson, and Hafu on Team Ors is quite phenomenal.
You have to mention the genius that is Iverson. At this point, I am just flabbergasted because what I just saw him do to follow after Hybrid. Hybrid is desperately trying to get around that pillar to get some line of sight between him and the Ravener. Ravener, what he does, he has a dash ability that he can use to close distance. Instead, what Iverson does is he dashes closer to the wall so that he has a better angle, and Hybrid can't make it around the pillar so that he can peg him with that mace. I mean, just the use of the abilities and knowing the ins and outs of the game, there is no peer. Iverson is at the top of his game right now, and he is playing beautifully. But right now, Hybrid and Viktory going to be having their work cut out for them as they are 2 rounds down in this match. One more round is going to seal it up for Team Ors, so this is very close right now. Tension is palpable, and you know, we're going to go ahead and get it. Oh no, getting that trance proc. Hafu able to reposition. That is that much more pressure going out onto Viktory. Viktory does have God mode. He's going to be extremely difficult to kill, but if all 3 Worm team members are there, this is going to go very badly for him very quickly, as already Iverson is able to just hammer him with blows. Just barely gets the reposition, and in the meantime, Dandido and Hybrid getting controlled very nicely by MegaZero. He is giving the field to Iverson, who is just... Whoa, Iverson is actually very close to going down here. They need to be careful, but he does manage to guarantee the kill on the Hybrid. Even if he were to go down at this point, we have the counter kill. Beautiful job from Public Transportation. You could never call it too early in this game. If the right combination of moves comes out, somebody will die. And of course, a team like Public Transportation, they're going to make it happen. If any mistakes come, they're going to punish them. And Iverson and Hafu right now, they are actually at the disadvantage. Iverson is desperately trying to get some heals off in the corner at the top right, and Hafu is going to do her best to kite and give him the opening he needs to try and get some real health back. As Hybrid and Dandido, all they have to do is keep them on the move. They have the life advantage. They just have to keep them busy. And there we go. Hybrid decides to initiate, and with the alarms, this is going to be a lot of damage coming out as Dandido gets a goo out onto Hafu. Hafu gets a nice moonstone, though. Hybrid is just going to be sitting there useless as can be and misses his Kong shot. So actually, Hafu is going to be in a good position to support Iverson, who is just going to town on Dandido right now. Spice Shield comes out, misses his EX mace. That is uncharacteristic, but it does not matter. Iverson, the machine, just going to work and eating this healer for lunch. Hybrid is just getting caught in stone after stone after stone. Hafu is so good about getting that CC and using it correctly. Right when she sees you cast ability, boom, it goes down at your feet. Even if you cancel that ability, you're not going to get out of there in time.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and that is huge map awareness as well. You know, I've seen it across the map. You know, she'll be pressuring Dandido, right? But she'll notice that Hybrid is off in the background. Hybrid can do concussion shot, do EMP, really mess up your day as engineer. She'll throw down the moonstone and then continue that pressure. Always looking around the map, always having that awareness and making sure that whenever you can use an ability, you use it and you use it in the right way. And that is what takes, you know, a top caliber player and gets him here at DreamHack to, you know, contest for $6,000.
Absolutely agree with you, buddy. And look at this, you know, already 2 maps in favor of Team Ors. They are actually legitimately 1 map away from taking this championship. I don't know if you realize that. It's been such a long weekend. There have been so many exciting matches, but here we are at the final map, possibly, unless Public Transportation can pull their team together and find a strategy to counter this just monster, like machine of absolute destruction that is Team Ors at this point. I don't know what's going to happen here. We may just have the final map right now. Yeah, I'm not calling it early, though. You never know. Public Transportation, Can never count them out. Oh, and look at this. Complete change. This is so dirty.
Dude, Viktory there on the Ranid, being able to get those consistent stuns, being able to get that melee pressure, that is going to absolutely be huge. Be the sneaky snake that a Ranid can be with high mobility, not going to be caught by Hafu just trying to space in. Also, you can throw down the toxin bomb, slow everybody around you. Hybrid as well with that runic barrier, able to mitigate half that damage. If it does break after a certain amount of damage, that is going to leave an incapacitate, control your opponents, and it's going to really stop a lot of that rushdown game that Iverson and Hafu like to play. And look at this, clarity onto Hybrid as soon as he got stoned. Very fast reactions from Dandido. Missing the sleep, that is a huge part of Alchemist's game, and it looks like Iverson at this point, not going to be hitting a lot of stuff, and Wuju is triggered. Right now we're going to be seeing a 2v1. Oh my gosh, Iverson already with the ultimate. Dandido not going to, he is going to get the runic shield, but that is just not even close to enough damage mitigation, and they just left Dandido to die. They went in a little bit too deep, but you know what, they have ultimates, and they actually might be able to combo. Right now, double Venom Lunge does come out. Hafu is actually going to be getting a little bit of heat, and it looks like the runic infusion. Oh my gosh! Getting reflected right back into Hybrid. He did not cancel that attack. That is actually very devastating, and that might have just, crushed all hopes of them getting this round in their favor. Oh man, they'll need a lot more support for Dandido right there in the back.
Iverson is such a monster. You know that exactly what Public Transportation had in mind. They were like, okay, we're going to have to put some pressure on the healers. We cannot allow MegaZero to just sit back and throw barriers out, throw huge heals, and go unperturbed throughout these fights. We need to put some pressure on him, and that will lead to deaths from Iverson and Hafu, who will be overextending. And, that's the problem. You can't leave your healer either. Yeah. I mean, Iverson is just going to go to work on him, and if you're leaving him completely unsupported, a Ravener versus Alchemist, a well-played Rav is always going to come out on top. So this is just a brutal situation for Public Transportation. They are down one round, and already Iverson has a commanding lead in the middle. Hybrid is getting pressured quite nicely, and MegaZero is as well. This is what they're talking about. Viktory and Hybrid trying to get some counter pressure out onto MegaZero, and Viktory is sitting with his ulti. He's going to be trying to line it up, decides to put it onto MegaZero, and MegaZero does have his barrier as well as the spike shield. Dandido is just getting mauled to death. Hafu and Iverson cleaning her up, and they have found the winning strategy. Take out Dandido, focus Dandido, and Hybrid and Viktory will be soon to follow. There's nothing they can do about it. MegaZero is just in a class of his own when it comes to Alchemist.
Dude, I mean, that is one thing, but also, stay back. Maybe a little bit more defensive play from this Public Transportation team could do them some good. Don't always just try and go on to MegaZero. Don't try and bum rush the healer. If they stay back, Inhibitor's got some incaps. He's got some spell lock, stop all that M1 damage from the Ravener. And you know what? I don't know. They're going to have to think of something really quick on their feet because it might go 3-0, and that would be a 3-0 for the rounds in the championships here for Bloodline Champions. We definitely have seen a lot closer games, but you know what? You can never count them out yet. And let's see what is going to happen at this point. MegaZero going to get that spike shield, reducing that damage. Good job by Iverson in that regard. Looks like they're going to go into Hybrid at this point. I don't know. They broke the barrier. MegaZero now at half HP. Will their strategy actually pull off? Dandido not getting pressured this time. Nobody on the Warm team has ultimates yet. As Viktory at double Venom Lunge. You almost got a triple right there. Looks like MegaZero has an ultimate. Gonna throw the goo. Hybrid spaced on in. Wuju not gonna be triggered. Deadly injection. He's got the stone. What is gonna be happening right here? Runic infusion on the way down, and they actually do have ors on the retreat, and Iverson only gonna hit Viktory with that Earth Stomp, and that is actually gonna get mitigated via that barrier. So Dandido actually living off on this time. He's staying in the back, staying way far back in case anything does gonna happen. And single Venom Lunge again from Viktory. MegaZero could go down, and there it is. The Ranid pressure Hybrid in the meantime could go down as well. Hafu trying to EX space. Bone Crush Rush from Iverson. Now they are gonna try and blitz onto Dandido. Not gonna happen as that barrier is coming up. But their fight is not over yet. They still have some juice left in them. And guess what? They might get a kill onto Hybrid, but yes. At the same time, Hafu goes down. So there it is, a little bit of a comeback. Public Transportation. We hear the crowd cheering. They want more BLC action. They don't want it to end yet. Do you, Semmler?
Of course not. What are you talking about, dude? Public Transportation all the way. These guys deserve to be here, and they have played magnificently up to this point. I'm so glad they have finally found a competent strategy that is working out for them, that is actually putting a stop to this machine, because Iverson, Hafu, and MegaZero, they really haven't had any kind of solid competition throughout this tournament. So to see them shutting them down and getting around, finally, you can never count anybody out of BLC. They can totally make a comeback to this position. So we're going to have to see, is MegaZero going to be able to survive? As right now, Viktory and Hybrid are totally going to work on him. Of course, he's going to get around, and Hybrid actually in a lot of trouble. Iverson not falling for that trance. He is not going to proc it. And there's the Goomba stop. One hit, you're dead. And look at this. Public Transportation down to 2v3. They have to fight, and double Venom Lunge comes out from Viktory. They need to get some kind of pressure rolling on in their favor, or this is going to end badly. Dandido under a lot of damage damage coming out from Iverson onto Dandido. Dandido gets the barrier up in the nick of time with a sleep to follow. Iverson unable to do a thing about it. Good instant injection to put 50% reduced damage onto Iverson, but it's just too little, too late. Hafu, MegaZero, and Iverson working together as a team to get that kill. Bone Crush Rush is going to be evaded, and Viktory fighting to the bitter end. Shout outs to Viktory.
Shout outs to them, but shout outs to Oars. We do have our winner. Team Oars from the U.S. gonna be taking it, and there they are right on the main stage giving hugs to each other. Iverson says, "Where's the love, Hafu? I want my hug too." There it is. He gets it from MegaZero. Excellent job.
Congratulations to Team Oars. They've come across the ocean and they have conquered undefeated throughout this entire tournament. Monsters. There's nothing else to say. They are just machines.
Machines, but you know they did have some hard rounds against some other teams.
All right, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be handing it off to our commentator, Matt. Thank you, sir, for taking over.
Congratulations, Team Oars, winning it for America. You guys did such a good job. Hafu, how exactly are you feeling?
Amazing. This is awesome. I mean, we flew all the way to Sweden with no sponsors, and it's amazing to make it this far and to play on equal ping for once, because we're usually at a disadvantage. So it's really great to be able to come here and play our best.
You've dominated the tournament. You beat the best teams out there. Who were your hardest opposition?
We've played Pubic Transportation twice now, and they were actually one of our hardest matches, I would say. The first time they took a lot of rounds off of us. This time we were a little bit more confident. SK was really difficult. It was very close, 3-2 almost every game, and of course Dignitas put up a good fight too.
Well, you've done an incredible job. Surely there'll be some sponsors interested in you guys. Now, give it up for Team Oars.
Did they introduce me?
And we have here with us esports manager at Stunlock Studios. It's none other than James Too Good Harding.
Thank you. I'm also owner of a bazooka, but we won't talk about that. All right, so yeah, I'm here to do the prize ceremony. I just want to say a huge congratulations to everybody who participated in the world's first Bloodline Champions LAN. It was brilliant. So give yourself a round of applause if you played. And of course, this is all made possible through the help of our publisher Funcom, but not only them, the Swedish developers. I want to bring them out on stage to join us for the prize ceremony. Please welcome the Stunlock Studios team. And our guests go, and we just move forward a bit, and as they come on. All right, guys, so with the prize ceremony, of course, I hope they're in the audience because I haven't been told to come on stage, but make sure you stay around. In third place, they only just lost in the winner bracket final, and then unfortunately they weren't able to make it back into the finals. They are, of course, if they can come on stage, it is SK Gaming. I don't have a check, but I have a handshake. It's worth more. We're promised we'll pay you your money. All right then, so in second place, you saw him play from Sweden. Please welcome, step forward if you can. It is, of course, Transportation. Well done, guys. And that means, even though I seem to be doing everything on stage, the winners in first place, give it up. It is, of course, Team Oars. Yes, the champions of the first ever BLC, and I really should get used to getting a camera, but we're not done yet. There is one last thing that we need to do here on stage. So guys, if you could join the ranks of all the awesomeness that's happened on here. Huh? You're rank 1? Okay. All right, so one last thing to do. Now, I know some of the Stunlock Studios teams have actually helped us here. First of all, it's been the admins. Can you take a little step forward? The admins of the tournament. And we've had a lot of help. But of course, actually, someone else who came down and saved the tournament, Shelt, has been here the whole time helping out with everything that happens to go on. So Shelt, step forward, a round of applause. And I have to say, one last thing before we go. Normally when I'm on stage, there's always something crazy that happens, isn't there? It's always weird, isn't it? Yeah, I know. So, this might be something crazy. Now I'm going to hand the mic over, but unfortunately, it's not going to be to you.
Thank you, James. Hey, me. Jag har funderat på det här jättelänge och jag vet att du har funderat på det jättelänge. Du är det absolut finaste som finns. Jag vill spendera hela mitt liv med dig. Jag vet att du har drömt om att någon gång en man ska komma och gå ner på knä och fria för dig. Och jag vill vara den mannen. Så...
Ladies and gentlemen, Martin and Cozy from the Stunlock Studios team. This has been the Bloodline Champions Finals. Thank you so much for joining us. Coming up next is, of course, StarCraft 2. Stay awesome.
Well, Kast, I can't believe it, dude. This was such an amazing tournament. It was such an amazing weekend. And we really received the warmest welcome from all the DreamHack community, crew, everybody here helped to make this awesome. And we really couldn't have done it without all of you esports fanatics out there and supporters. Give yourselves a round of applause, because really none of this would be here without you guys in the field. All right, guys, so we're going to wrap it up. We're going to bring this wonderful weekend to an end. Thank you all so much for your support. My name is Semmler. With me is Kast.
Kast with a K. Signing out.
Okay, signing out, and we are going to take off. Thank you so much, everybody. Love you all.